Well, remember, EU chief is in India. This is a critical visit with regard to the free trade agreement that's going to be signed between India and EU. Negotiations are still on. Joint statements have been issued by the chief of EU and also Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Let's cut across to my colleague Gauri Dwivedi, who has more details on this. But first, let's listen into what both the chiefs had to say today.
हमने अपनी टीम्स को एक पारस्परिक लाभकारी बायलैटरल फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट को एफटीए को इस वर्ष के अंत तक संपन्न करने का निर्देश दिया है। फ्रेंड्स, इन्वेस्टमेंट फ्रेमवर्क मजबूत करने के लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रोटेक्शन और जीआई एग्रीमेंट पर भी आगे बढ़ने की बात हुई है। टेक्नोलॉजी और इनोवेशन के क्षेत्र में एक ट्रस्टेड और सिक्योर वैल्यू चेन हमारी साझी प्राथमिकता है। सेमीकंडक्टर, एआई, हाई परफॉर्मेंस कंप्यूटिंग और 6G में सहयोग बढ़ाने पर भी सहमति बनी है।
Our businesses and people want to work together. And one of the best examples of this partnership is the new Federation of European Businesses in India. It brings together 6,000 EU companies, which have created 8 million direct and indirect jobs in this economy. Now we have tasked our teams to build on this momentum and finalize our free trade agreement before the end of the year. We're expecting a lot of our trade negotiators. We told them they should surprise us. Now more than ever, the geopolitical content asks for decisive action. At the same time, we must take our Trade and Technology Council to the next level and connect research, innovation and market uptake. This allows us to tackle important economic challenges together and to build robust and diverse supply chains, such as, for example, in semiconductors, a very important topic we have been working intensively on.
It's been a very comprehensive meeting between the two sides, the EU and India. The first time that there's a full delegation that has come outside of Europe. It's a 27-member delegation that is meeting and met all stakeholders in India, starting from Prime Minister Modi. The delegation level talks that were held today at Hyderabad House, indicating the clear intent, messaging, as well as the direction in which these talks are going and are set to go. The roadmap is very clear. In fact, the roadmap is a 360-degree roadmap in terms of the relationship between India and the EU, whether it is in terms of trade talks, whether it is in terms of defense, space, technology, clean technology, all of that is in fact being covered in these talks. And Ursula von der Leyen as well as Prime Minister Modi said something very clear when they sent the messaging and the intent, when they said that planets have aligned and so have Europe and India. And in fact, there's a very clear messaging also in terms of conclusion of trade talks. The leaders said today that there is an expectation that those trade talks, which have been in the works for over a decade and a half actually, may see conclusion this time, in fact this year itself. What that means? It means that there will be some give and take from the EU side. There will be some flexibility hopefully on the movement of skilled labor from India. On the Indian side, there could be some flexibility in terms of European wine, European whiskey and several other specific items in the agricultural basket, where the EU side has all along said that Indian tariffs need to come down. But beyond that, beyond just these trade talks, the messaging, as I said, from both the leaders indicate that this partnership is now evolving into a deeper strategic partnership between India and the EU, something that was expected, something that had the potential but wasn't realized so far. From the Indian side, remember, there's also the UPI framework, cost-effective, scalable and replicable, something that the EU wants to in fact replicate at its end. And the leaders also made a mention of that the UPI framework of India can be replicated, providing a greater digital financial backbone to the EU. There could also be tie-ups from between the two sides on greater collaboration revolving around AI as well as regulation. Regulation and policy framework is something that the EU has made advances on, but in terms of collaboration is where partnerships with India will come in handy. All in all, a 360-degree progress in terms of India-EU partnership from trade to defense to strategic areas.